police of racially profiling her after a vehicle she was travelling in was pulled over for questioning.
The Metropolitan Police said the car was stopped in East London because an officer had incorrectly entered its registration plate into a computer to identify it as a vehicle registered to Yorkshire.
Well, the former Shadow Equality Secretary filmed the incident in East London yesterday afternoon. We're going to speak to her in a moment, but first let's have a look at some of that footage.
And I am recording.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You're more than entitled to.
I am concerned about the reason for the stop. So that's what I'm concerned about. So because we should be able to drive wherever we want in London, because you're not just contained to the area where you live.
No, of course.
So that is my concern. So like if you're just profiling people who are driving outside their area, I think that's a ridiculous reason to stop. If you're profiling people who are driving a certain type of car, that's an inappropriate reason to stop. And if you're profiling people because of the colour of their skin, that's an inappropriate reason to stop people.
Well, we can speak now to Dawn Butler, live on Breakfast. Morning. Thanks for joining us. Maybe the easiest thing is if we just tell us what happened and let's go through the incident, please.
Just driving about 10 miles an hour because the lights were about to change, drove past a police car. The blues and twos were going, the flashing lights were going. I thought to myself, I wonder, where they're going. I hope it's nothing too serious. And the police stopped directly behind us and indicated for us to pull to the left. And I said to my friend, what's happening? And he said, they're stopping us. And I thought, wow, okay. I thought, well, I better start recording. This will make interesting research because just a few days earlier, I was saying to Cressida Dick that stop and search doesn't work and racially profiling people doesn't work. And the police came over. He said that the car was registered. He asked, my friend's name and where he lived and where the car was registered to. He told him. And then he said that the car was coming up on their system as being registered in North Yorkshire. And so he was like, well, I can't help you. It's my car. I know I've registered it. He said, here you go. Here's my driving license. Gave him his driving license and he offered his driving license because he gets stopped all the time. The police came back and said, oh, yes, the car is registered to you in your name. And then the other guy, the younger police officer, was asking me if I lived in London, what I was doing in the area, if I'm going out, where am I going? And I found that quite invasive. I was saying, well, it's none of your business where I'm going. Why is that relevant to you stopping and searching? So I still don't know why the police punched the number plates into their system. I don't know what raised their suspicion. All I can tell you factually is that I'm black, my friend is black, and he's got a fairly decent car. The police have since, given their apologies that they put the number plate in wrong. I still don't know why they put the number plate in the system. But the important thing now is that, we talk, and I talk to the police and with organisations like Stopwatch and Liberty, who've been working on why stop and search does not work for many years, and we changed the system. And I think that's vital moving forward, that we change the system to a system that works and has better outcomes. I mean, at the moment, 85% of stops on black people result in no further outcome. That means that they're using a system that has a 15% success rate. That's not a very good system in anybody's books. So we need to have a system that works and works successfully. So I'm going to be working with the police to make sure, and with organisations, as I say, to make sure that we change the system.
Can I show you a tweet that Sean Bailey posted last night after hearing your story? He's the Conservative candidate for London Mayor. And he said, look, I've been stopped and searched, Dawn. Yes, police make mistakes, but they're not racist, he says. Instead of political attacks, let's improve relations between police and the communities they serve. What do you say to him and other people who've made similar remarks following your going public on this?
A fundamental lack of understanding.
Well, he says he does understand it. He says he's been in exactly the same situation and he understands it perfectly.
Right. So what I'm saying is he has a fundamental lack of understanding in regards to institutional racism. So it's not necessarily about individual officers. It's about the institution and how it operates. So if you see black people in a car and you automatically assume that they are criminals, there is a problem there. And so that is why you have to address the system that's currently biased against black people. So it's not about saying that the police, every single police officer is racist. The Macpherson report made that clear 20 years ago. So it's not about that. So that's why I say there's a fundamental lack of understanding. And in regards to talking to the police, we've been trying to talk to the police about this for a while now. It just happened that last week, Thursday, we managed to have a meeting with Cressida Dick where I made it clear to her that she needs to understand. It would be good for her to understand institutional racism. And if she can't understand that, then there's a problem with her in that job, because after 20 years, it's still not been eradicated. So, it would have been more helpful for Sean not to try and attack me, but try and say, yes, Dawn, I'm sorry that your Sunday was ruined, that you seem to have been racially profiled. Let's, work with the police to sort this out. But he chose not to do that. And I think that is a problem in itself.
Is it possible, I'm just thinking about the practicalities, the logistics of this. The Met Police say that the police officer incorrectly entered the registration of the car into a police computer, which identified it as being from an address in Yorkshire. Could it be that they were searching for that other car for a reason and were stopping it because of the car and not because of you and the driver?
So if you believe that that could be a reason, then I ask you, why did the police not put that in their statement?
Sorry, I missed the last part. If you believe that that could possibly be a reason, why did the police not put that in their statement? If that was a reason, the police would have put that in their statement. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to make excuses for the police and what happened. You're trying to read in between the lines. The police have given a statement as to what happened. So there's no reason to try and look around that statement or try and investigate that statement. What we have to do is look at the facts that have been presented to us and move forward to how we are going to correct the situation. And this often happens, you see, when people raise an issue or when black people complain about an issue, somebody tries to explain it away. And that's why we don't make that much progress moving forward, because somebody's always trying to explain it away. What we have to do is have just an honest conversation. Yes, the conversation might be uncomfortable at times. It might be difficult at times, but we have to have that honest conversation. And so, I have a conversation with my borough commander all the time. There's things that I go public on, there's things that I don't go public on. And we have frank conversations all the time. And now what we need to do is we need to publicly say, look, we are going to work to make sure that this stop and search works for everybody, that it is a just system for everybody, that we are not over-policing one group of people unnecessarily. And when it comes to crime, I want crime to be eliminated from our streets. I want gun crime and knife crime to be eliminated from our streets. But what I don't want is the over-policing and the mental trauma to a group of people all the time. I want to be able to go out on a sunny Sunday afternoon with my friend who happens to be black and male and have a good time without thinking, oh my God, we might get stopped by the police. Oh my God, I have to bring my passport and my driving license with me just because I'm stopped. I'm sure that white people don't have to do that. And actually, the people that have come to the streets on Black Lives Matters are all people from all races, and basically saying that we need to have a just system. Justice is important for everybody. It matters to me as it matters to my neighbours and the person next door. We shouldn't be over-policing one group of people, and we shouldn't be making excuses where there doesn't need to be. We should just be resolving and solving the problem. The statement from the Met goes on to say they would welcome the opportunity to discuss the matter further with the occupants if they wish to do so. Is that something you've had a chance to do yet? And would you welcome the opportunity if not?
Absolutely. We haven't worked out a date yet or who's going to be at the meeting, and there'll probably be several meetings. But as I said, I've spoken to my borough commander. We are setting up a meeting. There will be groups who've been working on this for a long time, as I said, like Stopwatch and Liberty, and we'll all be working together to change the system, to take the bias out of the system. And as I say, it's going to take an intense amount of work, but it needs to be done. It's time now. It's been 20 years since the Macpherson report. It's time that we change the system so it works properly for everyone and it's effective.
Dawn Butler MP, thank you for joining us on Breakfast this morning. Thank you.
No,
it is